Moro-moro.
Maswerte si Tikboy. Yes po. Ay, sabihin ko na rin po yung mga pangalan. Okay lang
sige,
po,
mas
no?
maganda.
Opo. Si Marjun Anyo Nuevo Ronda, siya po yung taga-Australia.
Hello po.
Si Angelica Alcantara, siya naman po yung taga-Milan, Italy. Eduardo Infante, siya po yung taga-Las Vegas.
Hello po.
Ito naman
Watching.
po, from Vancouver, si Bernie Sobrevega.
Hello po.
At
Sir Bernie.
yes. And sabi naman po ni Marivic Aison Villano, napakasarap pong pakinggan at nakakagaan ng loob marinig po ang mga ganyang verses. Nakaka-inspire po talaga, salamat po. Maayong buntag po sa tanan from Tagbilaran City, Bohol.
Yan, hello po sa lahat ng mga taga... Some kind of nice... Wala!
Follow me, we can go.
Ben and his father have done everything they can to replicate the original method of milling here, and that includes reconstructing a 5-metre, 4-tonne water wheel that acts as a huge engine for the mill. Now that's all powered by a local stream that runs along the rear of the property. That's renewable energy at its finest. It's so beautiful here at Moulin du Trail. Just being here and hearing the water, the birds, just quite calm. And I thought this is a perfect place to make a delicious dish using the walnut oil that we've just extracted. So I'm going to do a simple dip. In French, we call it an aubergine caviar. Aubergine is eggplant, an eggplant dip, and they call it a caviar because the texture is almost like the caviar. I love the words in French. So very simply, I've got some eggplant here. Now, I roasted these last night until they're super tender. You don't need to add any oil to it, salt, or cover them. Just pop them straight into the oven, 180 degrees, and cook them for 20 to 25 minutes or until they're super soft. Now you can see that they're soft inside. It needs to be soft because I don't want it to be bitter whatsoever. So I'm going to cut them in half, take the skin off because that's super bitter. So when you do take these out of the oven, you want to place it into a bowl and cover it with some cling film, and that'll just make it even easier to take off the bitter purple skin. Okay, that's looking good. Take that top off. And now I'm just going to roughly chop our eggplant flesh because we want it to be quite smooth. Great. Now, I'm just going to grab some cream cheese. Now, this one has no flavour, so no garlic or herbs in it. I want to keep it really neutral because I want it to be the carrier of the flavour of the walnuts, okay? So that goes straight into a bowl. And I've just brought it out of the fridge so it's easy to whip. To this, I'll add a bit of salt. And I'll add the eggplant now. Instead of using a whisk, I think the best way to do it, just so we've got a slight amount of texture in there, is to use a fork. So we'll just grab a fork and then whip all that together, mash it. Of course, you can buy many different dips, but when you make it yourself, it just tastes so good. But now I need some acidity, so I'm going to add some vinegar. I'm just adding a simple apple cider vinegar. Mix that through. And because we're in walnut country, I'm not only going to use the walnut oil, but also the walnuts. So I'll garnish with walnuts, but I also want to just roughly chop some walnuts and add it to the dip. So I'm just going to reserve half of this, and the rest goes into my bowl. Now for the walnut oil. Just going to pour a little of this in. Drizzle pure walnut oil. So good. Alright, let's pop this into a bowl. Bright blue. Really see it. Then going to garnish it with another drizzle of Ben's beautiful walnut oil over the top. And a sprinkle of the walnuts. One last thing I like to add, and you really only need a small amount, just to give it a little bit of je ne sais quoi, is some gorgeous piment espelette. It's a pepper, it's got a little heat to it, and I love the pop of colour. Just allows that. Alright, now you can't have anything here in France without some baguette. So a little baguette to serve this with. Just cut that on an angle. Just little croutons. And I'm not only serving it with baguette, but with the crudité. It's a combination of local market vegetables that I picked up today. The markets here are just sensational. So I have a combination of tomato, some little radish, endive or whitloaf if you like, celery, carrot, and the bread. And the colours are just so beautiful. That served with my walnut and eggplant dip, or walnut aubergine caviar. It's going to be an absolute delightful afternoon treat for Ben and I. Okay, Ben, tell me what you think. A little bit of crudité and some dip. I've put extra oil on the top of it. Yeah. Give it a taste too. Good?
Yeah.
Mm.
Right?
You taste the walnuts and the walnut oil that I've added to it?
Yeah. So fresh.
Exactly. Yeah, it is very fresh, very light. I love it. And just a little bit of piment espelette. Not too much.
That's okay.
Is it okay? Then I really like the life here in Vienna. It's a little slower, but everyone's happy to go not so fast.
Yes, we are happy, tranquille in France.
I see myself living here. Maybe one day.
France? You can stay.
Over the years, I've been lucky enough to travel the world and experience so many wonderful cuisines. I'm going to take that idea back to Australia. But nothing satisfies my heart and soul like the classical French flavours. The pastry, oh my goodness. From Burgundy to Dodon, I'm embarking on the ultimate adventure. Today on the canals, it's picture perfect. Look at what I get to see every single day.
Tayo na eh.